Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to MDG Media's coverage of the 2025 European Disc Golf Championships. This is round 3, front 9, FPO lead card coverage from the beautiful Vasset Disc Golf Park in Sula, Norway. I'm Andrew Gump.
Hello, I'm Brennan, coming back at you with our round 3 FPO coverage. As you can see, I got my rain jacket on. It is going to be a wet and windy one out there, man. Some crazy conditions in these fjords. As you can see on the screen there, check out the MDG Media merch, man. Some really cool stuff made by Wayo Apparel, really comfy, awesome clothing. Support us in any way you can. We're trying hard to get this coverage to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, sweet high-quality threads available. You'll look good and help support us, and we appreciate that a lot. Leading the pack, Kristin Lätt, over 1,000 rated from Pärnu, Estonia, Latitude 64 sponsored player.
Up next, Eveliina Salonen, fresh off her ace yesterday. If you guys haven't seen that, please go check out that footage. Really, really cool. And what an amazing hole to ace.
Oh, my goodness.
Hailing out of Finland. Can't forget that.
Yeah, we also have Silva Saarinen, 983 rated player, sponsored by MVP Discs from Oiti, Finland. The highlight machine, always getting it done. So happy to have her on the card. Always very entertaining action with her.
And then Henna Blomroos had a fairly okay round yesterday, still making a lead card here today. She is from Rauma, Finland. See what she can do.
Yep, Innova sponsored. We have, get it started here on this hole 1. Really nice downhill par 3, 131 meters or 430 feet. It moves a little bit right to left. Got these trees lining the right side of the fairway, and then a couple guardian trees on the left, a little bit further up the way. Fences both sides. Basket right there, as you see. What do you think about this hole?
Well, these drone shots are not going to be what this hole looks like right now. Well, actually, okay, in the morning, maybe the rain wasn't really hitting that much in the morning, but you will see the weather start to hit very soon, guys.
The wind was fierce.
The flags ripping there in the back, yep. Spectators looking on by the clubhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, European Disc Golf Championships presented by the Latitude 64 lead card. Moving day. First on tee from Pärnu, Team Estonia, Kristin Lätt.
Not a whole lot of spectators out here today. The winds were fierce. We're under a weather advisory for severe weather, so a lot of people staying home. That one gets flipped by the wind pretty heavy. Kicks back to the fairway.
Yeah, playing into that guarded fence there. There's a net up there, so you can kind of just smack something into there.
And Team Finland, Eveliina Salonen.
Yeah, Pirkala up there near the Tampere area, which is where the World Championships will be. So those are a couple of her home courses. Pretty big threat. She's a defending world champion as well. Pretty exciting.
Look at that wind bounce. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It stays in, that's fine.
Similar spot to Kristin, I believe. They're all kind of already laughing about the way the disc gets danced around in the wind.
Team Finland, Silva, Saarinen.
Silva's hometown is about halfway between Helsinki and Tampere, so also very familiar with those courses up there that'll be getting played.
Getting smacked down by the wind there. She's not too happy with it, but in the fairway's fine.
From Rauma, and also Team Finland, Henna Blomroos.
So we got 3 Finns on the card, the 3 best players in Finland, all very successful in their own rights. Trying to chase down the Estonian superstar.
Good. Doesn't kick out from there as much as she would have liked, but should be okay for an up and down.
Yeah, pretty hard to attack the basket under these conditions. Winds are raging out there. Yeah, and we're off. for this moving day action. Well, potentially moving day. There is some speculation about the continuing the worsening of the weather situation that might potentially suspend or cancel play for the final day. Still don't know at this point. They're having a meeting right now. Nice upshot there from Kristin. Because the winds are crazy and the gusts are just extreme. And so, yeah, some concerns about the safety of the players. The trees here are very hardy here on the west coast of Norway. This is, quite familiar weather, and the nature is adapted to survive under those conditions. So we're not really worried too much about trees falling. That might be one thing that keeps it on as scheduled.
Do you know if at this early in the morning were the FPO aware that there may be a cancellation of the
Absolutely.
round? They
Yes,
were aware.
They were.
Okay.
Yeah. All players received a message this morning that there was, worsening weather situation, and they were considering all options about how to progress. If one of those options being a canceled fourth round, and then the winner would be where we stand at the end of this round.
And I mean, that brings in an interesting thing for a player's mindset, it being, whether it's a moving day mindset or a potential final round mindset. Maybe are you running something you maybe wouldn't have, even though the wind is a bit crazy? It's a lot of things going in your mind about, or are you playing safe? Because you're like, okay, I just need to make sure that I'm getting a good score if this is the final round.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Very good points there. And I actually discussed this with Silva Saarinen's caddy, Nico Ratua, and he was saying, because Silva only plays for the win. That's all she's interested in. And so, if she's behind a little bit and feeling like she has to push, but pushing in these conditions can bring in some danger. And but yeah, that plays with all the players' head. That's the only specific example of that exact issue that I have as far as players.
Hole 3 here, coming up 262 feet, 80 meters. Pretty straightforward, low ceiling. Hit the gap, slide up there, hopefully get a look for birdie.
Yeah, straight pipe job,
Sorry, it's hole 2. I think I might have said hole 3.
No, you said hole 2, par 3.
Oh, par 3, that's one. Okay, here we go.
Classic disc golf hole, just throw a straight shot.
Yep.
And if you don't, you get punished. Oh, this is so good. Look at that.
Or ace it. Oh,
yeah.
my.
Incredible shot there, right down the tube. Giving it a chance, chain high, just a little bit right. Maybe about a foot left from that. It would have rang up them chains, I'm thinking. Definitely looking good. She'll have a comebacker, though. She did blow past a little bit long. Whoa, that was almost high over the wall. Stays in bounds. Out of position.
Silva, can she lace the gap?
Surprise.
Oh, just a bit early there.
Surprised to see her miss this one. She's such a straight shooter. Really master of angle controls. One of the best in the business at it, I would say. Oh,
also
no.
hitting the gap there. Does that go
That
OB
kicked
over the fence?
OB,
Oh,
absolutely
no,
did.
that's unfortunate. When you're playing in the wind as a disc golfer, not only is it affecting you physically with your shots, but it also affects you mentally. You're walking up to the hole with like, well, do I throw this more stable of a disc because it's the wind? Or, you walk up to your lie with 3 different discs in your hand, depending on what the wind might be doing. So it's kind of messing with you mentally a little bit, not just physically with your disc.
That's a good point. And I've heard the legend Greg Barsby himself say the worst wind is the in-your-head wind.
There you go. Shout out Barsby, man. We love you.
Absolutely. Total legend. Nice upshot there. I have that left now for the par. There you see the wind affecting the trees, branches blowing around, leaves rattling. Knocks that putt down. I do think she was trying to give it a go, but it's pretty hard to get a read on this wind because it's shifting so much and it's swirling about. And Henna makes a great putt to save that bogey.
Yeah, good putt there.
There you can see just how unpredictable that wind is. It just branches dancing about, swirling. This is not your average windy day. This is pretty serious stuff here.
Yeah,
It's yours.
I saw players putting upside down, laying up with upside down putters. I saw people putting with mids. I even saw a couple people putting with drivers.
Yeah. All options on the tables. Eveliina drains a nice putt there for the par.
That was great.
So pretty good start, I would say. I mean, you're not going to see a ton of birdies today just because of that wind. And that one bogey from Henna after the OB kick was actually quite a win, to get up and down from there. Pretty solid. Hole 3, par 3, 106 or 348. Straight shot. Pretty open gap, slightly downhill. Yeah, marshy side on the right. A little bit of hazard trap on the left there. Beat this birch, and then you got to also hopefully get past this beech tree, and that'll give you a birdie look. Quite a pretty hole.
Yeah.
Straight one.
Yeah, I love this hole. I think also not getting in your head about bogeys is really important on windy condition days. You might be looking down at, or in your head, you're like, oh man, I just got a bogey or a double bogey. But some people say they don't like to look at their score. They don't like to look at what the field is doing when they're playing. But given the fact that this might be the final round with the conditions tomorrow, if the round gets canceled, it's good to look down at the scorecard sometimes and be like, okay, well, everyone else is bogeying this hole, or the field is all double bogeying, So it's not that bad to walk away with bogeys on some of these. This one I wouldn't say is one of them, but some of the holes, man, bogey is going to be just fine.
It's absolutely important to have reasonable expectations when weather is difficult. Great drive so far.
Yeah.
2 C1 hits, birdie opportunities.
That's looking great, too.
Fading hard, though.
Oh, wow.
And it does get into that hazard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I think that wind must have pushed that.
Yeah. First we've seen that hazard come into effect. She'll have to play it where it lies with a +1. Penalty stroke. She's about, I would say, 17, maybe 15 meters. Or 50 feet. Henna with a great one, too.
Yeah.
She'll have an opportunity.
This for a par save. Whoa, let's go, Silva.
Yes. Yeah, she's, no reaction there. She's used to that. That's just a normal, everyday action for her.
That's a statement putt, though, right there.
Absolutely. Great par save. And Eveliina with a nice little highlight putt of her own.
Yeah, a little backside.
Yeah. Dropping in the corner pocket, which is a good spot to hit. That'll catch on almost every target. Yeah. Solid shooting here. I mean, if it weren't for that hazard, we'd have a star frame here on hole 3. So.
Well played hole there by our FPO field.
Yeah, just that one bogey on the whole card. So, I mean, pretty sweet start. Here we see our leaderboard. It's pretty much just on this lead card that we have to worry about now at this point. They've separated themselves. The cream has risen to the top here.
Yep.
Best players in Europe are battling it out.
The discovery of electricity, the first flight, democracy, splitting the atom, computers, modern medicine, space travel, and of course, the Royal Line from Latitude 64.
Hole 4 here, 147 meters, 482 feet, par 4. There's our FPO tee pad we're flying over right now. You want to push something out there, try to stay in bounds on this one, man. That is very important. You want to land your drive somewhere around up in this area right here. Try not to turn over and go into that swampy area on the right. Try not to saw it off and go left OB. And then you're going to have an upshot up here into this guarded green with water right behind it. Very pretty, but very scary, especially today. And this fjord weather, man, with the winds, it is just so interesting. Sometimes it's sunny and rainy, and then it's windy and not rainy, and then it's whipping rain and wind at the same time, and then sometimes just sun. There you see the trees right now. It is really interesting how unpredictable each hole can be.
It is indeed ever-changing, and yeah, these basket placements are difficult in, calm weather conditions, so you can imagine how tricky it is when the wind picks up like this, and you see that on the whole scoring average at 5.26, so pretty tough.
Is that going to skip off the roof? Does it come back in? No, it fades.
Got over the roof, but it did go OB. Eveliina up next. Overturned to the right side. Can it get lucky?
Oh, it stays in.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it had a little bit of stability, so came back just enough to keep her in bounds. This is looking really good.
That looks like what you want. You have to be careful, though, because there is left OB right there.
That was a smash.
That was.
Just faded out a little bit too much. Hard to control the disc.
Really far up there, though. She has a potential up and down. Oh, that gets smashed down.
Mm-hmm.
Stays in the fairway, though.
Yeah, hits that structure. She doesn't get relief off that because she's inbounds. She has to reach around forehand. That's a rare sight, Silva Saarinen forehand, but she executes it very well.
Yeah, not bad.
Didn't really have any other options there, and she's been working on that all off season. She's definitely a backhand dominant player. Almost never used the forehand in seasons past, but she's been adding that to her arsenal, and nice to see her busting it out when she needs it. Kristin, no stranger to the forehand. Best in the game, I think, at it.
That could have been a helpful tree. That looked like it was coming in pretty hot. That hit pretty high on that tree. Potentially helpful.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. You'll take any love you can get on a day like this, especially tree love. As Eveliina's shot gets her up there, but, it's probably a layup from there with the scary green and the crazy winds. That kick stays safe, though. Also, most likely layup zone. I actually hit a putt from that same spot, but that was in very calm conditions earlier in the week.
There we go. Shout out Gum's putting game one time.
Thank you, sir. Upshot there was a little bit short, but still well inside her range, even in these conditions.
Yeah, definitely laying all these up, man.
Mm-hmm. It's really all you can do with that, lake there lurking right behind. Yeah, smart play there. Not taking any big risks. She's got a 3-stroke lead at the moment. She will drop one back with that OB stroke, and Eveliina getting up and down for the par. But you don't want to make it 2 this early, right? So I think that was a smart, disciplined layup from Kristin.
Yeah, I agree. Par's going to score well, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Walk away with your par and you're just fine.
And now we're moving on to hole 5, where we're really going to feel this wind. This is the water carry, par 3, 110 meters. And the wind is just raging. Mostly from left to right, but swirling like mad. And you'll see it pretty soon. But yeah, as I walked up down this fairway, I saw dozens of discs in the lake already. And I knew that this is going to be a tough tee shot for these ladies.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. Walking up to this pad, I think I've felt every single kind of wind there is.
Yeah. Yeah, up, down, left, right, back, front. Coming from all directions. Eveliina busting a move on this. Look at it. Gets lifted up by the wind.
Oh, this looks amazing.
It is. Yeah, you don't even know how great that shot is. Look at the tree. She's amazed. She's like, I can't believe I just did that. And Silva's going to try to follow up on that. But the wind has other plans for her.
Smashes that down. Does it get in? No, it does not. And that not crossing, that's straight to the drop zone, I believe.
Yes, that's true. And that's a difficult up and down from the drop zone.
Yes, it is.
Especially in this wind. Kristin takes something
Look
overstable.
how much hyzer she put on that.
Yeah, and it's an overstable disc. This is just like...
Dude, Kristin bombs the disc, and she put so much hyzer on that, and the wind just said, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy headwind with a little bit left to right cross.
That also same story there. That wind is just flipping that thing over. Does this one have any luck?
No, and
no,
these,
it does not.
These flight paths are testament to how brilliant of a shot that Eveliina threw there. We're going to shout that merch out again. We're going to keep doing it because we need to remind you to get yourself some and mention it to other folks too.
We work hard over here at MDG, support all the editors and everybody, help us stay on this tour and produce all these videos for you. And there we see that tough drop zone. Unfortunate OB again.
And you'll be doing yourself a favor too because the quality is, you know, supreme.
Yeah.
But yeah, the drop zone shot from Silva didn't work out. OB again, and that also trickles out.
Even with that wind read, still another OB.
And like all you can do is laugh, you know. I mean, they're on an adventure here together. You know, the camaraderie was brilliant. They all have to go through this, you know, crazy experience where they're just battling the elements.
My gosh, no.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
A bit befuddled of a look, if you will, from Henna. Just how does that happen?
Yeah. There was a lot of disbelief in the reaction cams today. I can promise you that. Get used to these kind of shocked faces that you're seeing after they release the disc. They're mostly laughing it off because it's like, you know, what else can you do? You're just like, you're just bewildered when you let go of your disc. You're like, oh, it did that? My goodness, I haven't seen that before.
And, you know, it's better to, oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before. I don't know if that was the wind or a misrelease or what was going on there.
I don't know exactly either. Like, to me, it seemed like she might have kind of like let go of the disc before she actually like threw it or something, or like loosened the grip enough that it sort of just, I mean, it is tricky because the wind, you know, it's doing crazy stuff. Sometimes,
that was interesting. I'm going to have to watch that one back.
Lay up there. Now you hear it on the mics. I mean, and you look at the lake, you know. That is wild.
And we have giant windscreens on these mics. Look at the plastic coming in.
I mean, the media crew did a great job, you know, trying to prepare and trying to persevere and endure through this, but this was a rough day out there, folks.
Yeah. All you can do is just trash bag everything and plastic cover everything and umbrella everything as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, we're fairly lucky to stay dry for the, you know, most part of this FPO round, but there were some showers, and when it does rain, it rains straight sideways and even like up sometimes, you know, with the updrafts, and it'll come at you from all angles.
Welcome to the fjords of Norway.
Gorgeous place, but I mean, it's wild. Yeah, long walk from 5 to 6. Then you get here and you're faced with a pretty uphill par 4, 140 meters. You got the drop zone toilet. I like that. You got to drop. If you need to drop one, you can head on in there before you head
You can if you would like. Yep. And the hole's going to keep moving along here. You want to land your shot hopefully right there where that disc was, and either come in with a, you know, forehand or a chill little backhand turnover. But the green right here with the little log wall behind it has a very steep backdrop behind it. So either you slide in there real chill like, or you're probably laying up that putt.
Yeah, and if you drop a deuce on this one, that is something real special.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we can do with it. And the wind's still ripping.
Oh yeah, get used to that crazy wind because you ain't seen nothing yet, folks. Eveliina's hyzer gets lifted up, carried over to that left side.
A little too left there. Good distance, but a bit too left.
Silva coming off a triple bogey. Trying to bounce back strong.
This looks good.
That's real good.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
great.
yeah. Yeah,
right there
there
on
we
that
go.
shelf, center fairway. Ideal, really.
Yeah.
Good bounce back. Kristin, a lot of colors on the card. Also taking a triple bogey there. That's similar to Eveliina over there, but perhaps a little bit more of an open look.
Yep.
Seemed like Eveliina was maybe slightly behind, a little further up the fairway, but slightly behind that tree. And this is also over there in that similar place, but also quite clear. Kristin up first, kind of a tricky stance. She's got her left foot up on the hillside.
Trying to flex it in there. Hits one of the tall kind of guardian trees.
Yep, she's at the edge of C1.
Just a little bit off the line there. Shot looked pretty good, though.
And Silva tries a forehand here. She's, has been working on it. Her backhand game is amazing, but in this kind of super strong wind, sometimes it's hard to get that touch, and to like do those kind of flip up turnovers like she does.
Yeah.
She does throw like a fair bit of understable, really touchy shots, and so the wind doesn't necessarily favor her style of play that much. At least this kind of fierce wind and these unpredictable gusts. Gives it a run. Kristin eyeing this up and drilling it in the heart.
Bang, bang. Let's go, Kristin.
Yeah, great bounce back from the triple. And y'all don't even know how good of a putt that was.
Huge.
She made that look easy, but it is not easy.
So steep right behind, wind ripping everywhere. And sometimes if you have a lull in that wind, get up and putt right away. I saw that all day with cards everywhere. Even with tee shots, if you see your competitor throw a tee shot right in the lull of the wind, I've seen people like go up and tee off right before their disc almost hits the ground already, because they're like, I'm going when the lull is in this wind. I got to go now.
Yeah, as a player, there's a lot of things you have to do, a lot of adjustments you have to make when it's this kind of weather. Not just with your equipment, but with your style of play, like you said. Sometimes you got to go quick. Sometimes you got to take your time.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Yeah, only the best. OTB, appreciate their support. You saw from the leaderboard, the scores are pretty high already, even though, we're only a little bit way through the course. It's a tough day to get a good score for sure. Hole 7, par 3, way uphill, 76 meters or 250. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, you're just going to want to smash something up there that slightly turns and just kind of fades. You have that kind of backstop up there, so throwing it hard is good. Just get up there as far as you can. Hit and slide up to the pin.
It's looking good, but turns a little much.
Finds its way through, though. That should be a look.
Yeah. Trees are pretty thick, but if you make it that far up, you usually have some kind of chance at least.
Oh my, look at that wind lifting that.
Kicked hard left. Silva, getting the read off of that and trying to keep it low. Bounces around ping pongs, but ends up in a pretty decent spot to get up and down at least. Early release left.
That was a good looking line. That was a good looking shot, just a little bit early release.
What's your favorite thing available on the new merch drop?
I love the hoodies, man. The hoodies are just so comfy, and I'm a hoodie guy, man. I wear hoodies all the time, especially when I'm traveling around this summer. I pretty much live in hoodies when I'm working with MDG, so.
Yeah, it's been a mild summer here in Scandinavia, so you definitely need to get yourself one of them hoodies if you're out and about in this region, and everything's good. Oh no.
Ooh, unfortunate miscue right there from Silva.
solid up. But that's going to be a disappointing bogey. Kind of an unforced error, I guess, really, to hit that second available tree on the left side on the approach. And it does well to put it right by the basket. And, good approach game is, really important on a day like this. The closer you are, the less stress you're feeling, because every putt is a nervy situation.
As we can see right there with Evelina's putt, that's a good putt from Kristin.
For birdie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she did make it the whole way through. Wow, nice bird, Kristin. Let's go.
Yeah. Bouncing back solid after that triple. 2 in a row. It didn't look like from the tee shot like it got all the way up there for that kind of a look, but it didn't hit anything either. So,
Yeah.
Great result. Yeah, bogeys for the rest. So 2 strokes on the card there for Kristin. Yeah, moving on.
Hole 8, 489 feet, 149 meters. Hit that first gap and hopefully land somewhere around this bush that we're about to fly over. I think the more left you are is probably going to be the best case scenario. And then you can either see between those trees there on your right, you can kind of do a little turnover or a putter shot right through there. There is the big forehand or a big putter turnover to land somewhere by this basket, hopefully, but we got a steep hill right behind there and OB lurking right behind that basket. So good birdie to get if you can. Not the longest par 4, but definitely very technical.
Yeah, indeed. The fishhook hole, OB laden, and dramatic technical turn from left to right at the very end of it. With that Mando as well.
And it kicks and stays in bounds there. Oh, it looked like it was turned over, headed for OB right. This is what you want.
Yep. Yep. Skipping over there. Left side. Giving her space to work. Left to right approach. That was solid.
A lot of smiles from Eveliina today. We love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, she hit that albatrace yesterday. That was the coolest thing her and I both have ever seen on a disc golf course as far as a single shot goes. And so, yeah, she's still buzzing from that.
That's looking good, too. Does that... Oh, no, it skips too much.
Yeah, gets OB. Evelina's always in a good mood, though, really. Actually, when I think back, she's one of the nicer,
Yeah.
kind of more laid-back, fun-loving type of card mates that just, she's super good and fierce competitor in her own way, but she's always, smiling and having a good time out there.
Yeah, it's important to have fun, especially on a day like this. It's windy, it's ripping, but if you can keep the mood light, I think your shots are going to go better for you.
Yep, earning a little karma, perhaps, or just manifesting some good times for yourself and others.
Yep.
This golf should be fun. Yeah.
Wide forehand around there. She has a look for the up and down for a par, or she could take a run, but I do not see that happening. A little bit low on this turnover shot. She was trying to go through that gap. Hits the top of the hill.
We got some kind of celebrity caddies on the card today. That's Nico Ratua with Silva. Super cool dude from Finland. Great player as well. And on Evelina's bag, we have Tom Erik Christensen Stain, a good player in his own right, and also Anniken Christensen Stain's husband.
Very cool, very cool.
And super nice guy. I mean, yeah, both of those two, really great people.
Nice. Sit. Sit. Good disc.
Checks up nice. Scary little roll there, but nice to see it settling inbounds. Easy. Yeah. The wind's not too tough here at this part of the course. It's
Yeah,
pretty sheltered from the Norwegian woods. Yeah.
Interestingly calm right now.
Yeah, this is perhaps the most sheltered spot on the course. Just by the way the land's shaped and these Norwegian woods kind of protecting you from those more extreme gusts near the lake. +7 already for Henna with that. Yeah. Really tough score on hole 5.
Hole 9, par 5 for FPO, par 4 for MPO, same tee pad. Going straight down here, kind of trees on the left, trees on the right. You want to land in this landing zone right here. It's a bit mushy right there, but that's where you want to land. Second shot should hopefully get you up to around there, and then third shot into the green. Maybe a forehand around or a little turnover. I've seen some people go spike over the top as well, hopefully to get yourself a birdie putt.
Yeah, and if everything goes just right, you might get yourself an eagle look. We do have to shout out Kaidi Alsalu, also from Estonia, getting the eagle today.
Oh, she got the eagle on a day like today?
Yeah, amazing. 2 brilliant shots and then a just like super highlight putt to get the 3.
Wow, sick. Shout out her.
Yeah, definitely.
As we see a great drive from Kristin there, that's where you want to land. This is early. Kick out, maybe?
It does. I mean, fair bit. She'll be able to reach around with the forehand and try to flick something up past the Mando on the second. Not super deep in there, at least.
Wind holding that one. Oh, great kick to the middle of the fairway, though.
Yeah, pretty lucky to get it back onto the fairway after missing it right side.
This looks pure. Yeah.
Yeah, great spot. Crashing it into the rocks over there on that left side is good, especially if you got a great forehand, like she does. That's testing the Mando, but it's still short of it, but way pinched.
Yeah, super pinched. That's probably just going to be a little pitch to a good spot there. I don't think you can get really any more than... Ooh.
Yeah, no way to progress from where she's at. Nice little turnover, kicks back to the fairway. Not too shabby.
Yeah, and there's that pitch right there. Just get yourself a nice lane.
Here's that nice forehand we spoke of with Henna.
Weaving through some trees, a little roll.
Sweet ass.
Oh, go.
Powering up on it. Wind beats it down a little, but it's still a nice shot. Kristin getting up there for an eagle look of her own. I mean, a long one, but...
Yeah, but that is an eagle look, though, depending on where she is between those trees. But I don't think she's going to go for it. I mean, I have not seen any of this footage yet, but I would highly doubt she goes for that.
Well, there's quite a few guardian trees up in that area, but I believe she's about, I would say, just over 60 feet, close to 20 meters. There you can see her disc. This is a really crafty turnover in the wind.
Nice shot.
Yeah, great job there. Putting herself close. She had a brutal spit out to end the front 9 yesterday, remember?
Yeah, I do.
After skipping up there with, with what would have been her eagle look and went OB.
Oh, it's a little branch there. I think that was a layup, right?
I'm not sure, but it hit that tree.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. Now for the birdie. Oh, nubs, chains. Does not get into the bottom of the bucket, unfortunately. So after being in way up there after 2 throws. She's going to have to settle for the par, unfortunately. As she had an opportunity to take a few strokes on Eveliina there.
Great birdie there from Silva.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, especially after that first throw. It wasn't really like, bummer. Just a little shy on that bid. It cost her the stroke. Take the par. She would have wanted that one. Par also there. Eveliina tapping in the bogey, but getting away with only losing 1 stroke back from Kristin instead of what surely should have been 2. So that does it for the front 9. It really flies right by with you, man. We got a great little conversational style going. I really like it.
Cool. Well, thank you guys all for checking in and watching. Make sure you come watch the back 9, man. Gonna bring it to you again with Andrew. And yeah, we got Kristin -5, Eveliina -2, Silva +3, Henna +6. The course is playing hard today, man. And yeah, make sure you come check out the back 9. Check out MDG Media merch. I'm in here with Andrew. We love commentating for you, and we love disc golf.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. We love having you along for the ride. Join the MDG family on Patreon, like, subscribe on YouTube, join the socials, all that stuff you see on the left side of your screen. We'll see you for the back 9.